What if the world government took the most dangerous pirates who ever lived, cloned them as children, gave them the power of the gods, and turned them into obedient weapons? That's exactly what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am your host Steve, and today, we're going deep into one of the most terrifying and fascinating creations in all of One Piece, the Seraphim. Who made them? Why were they made? What can they do? And where are they now after the Egghead arc? Before we talk about the Seraphim themselves, let me give you a quick recap of the Egghead arc, because you need this context to understand why the Seraphim matter so much. After the epic war of Wano, Luffy and the Straw Hats sail to Egghead Island, a place that looks like it jumped straight out of a sci-fi movie. Giant robots, holographic technology, machines centuries ahead of the rest of the world. This is the home of Dr. Vegapunk, the greatest scientific mind in the history of One Piece. But trouble starts immediately. The world government sends CP0, their deadliest assassins, including Rob Lucci, to kill Vegapunk, because he's been researching forbidden knowledge about the Void Century. What are the Seraphim? Origin and creation. The Seraphim made by Vegapunk. Seraphim are the next generation of Pacifista's living weapons, developed by the Marines Special Science Group, or SSG. You remember the original Pacifistas from Sabaody Archipelago, those hulking robots modeled after Bartholomew Kuma that made the pre-time skip. Straw Hats run for their lives. Well, the Seraphim make those look like toys. Here's how they were built. And this is where it gets insane. Step 1. Vegapunk extracted the lineage factors, essentially the DNA of the former 7 warlords of the sea, the greatest pirates who agreed to work for the world government. Mihawk, Boa Hancock, Jinbei Kuma, Doflamingo, Crocodile, Gecko Moria. Step 2. He mixed that DNA with the lineage factor of a Lunarian, specifically a man named Arbor, one of the last survivors of a near-extinct ancient race. Lunarians are insanely durable. They can survive almost any attack. They have white hair, dark skin, and jet black wings. And they can generate and control fire from their bodies. Step 3. He injected them with green blood, a synthetic substance Vegapunk invented that carries the lineage factor of Paramecia class, devil fruits. This is how the Seraphim get devil fruit-like powers without actually eating a devil fruit. It's artificial, it's synthetic, and it works. Step 4. He raised them as children, because children's bodies absorb lineage factor most efficiently. So every Seraphim looks like a young, teenage version of the warlord they're cloned from. Now, who can actually command the Seraphim? The chain goes like this. At the top are the 5 elders, the world government's supreme rulers. Below them is Dr. Vegapunk himself, then Sentomaru, Vegapunk's personal bodyguard, and anyone with a special authority chip. This hierarchy matters a lot during the Egghead arc, because whoever controls the Seraphim controls the battlefield. Alright, this is what you came for. Let's meet each Seraphim one by one. First up, Snake, clone of Boa Hancock, the clone of the most beautiful and powerful woman in the One Piece world. Long dark hair, a slender build, and that same overwhelming presence. But unlike the real Hancock, Snake is a cyborg, with the black wings of a Lunarian folded behind her. Powers and abilities. Snake carries the power of the marrow. Marrow, no Mi, the love fruit. Through her green blood, anyone who feels attraction toward her or is touched by her love-powered blasts, they turn to stone. On Amazon Lily, she petrified dozens of marine soldiers and Kuja pirates without breaking a sweat. She also has the Lunarian passive defense system. In simple terms, when her flame is burning, she's nearly indestructible. She can generate fire and shoot the signature Pacifista laser beams. And here's the most fascinating detail: Snake appears to have genuine emotions. When Jinbei complimented her, she blushed. Real blushing from a cyborg. Where is she now, after the Egghead incident? Snake was captured and secured by the Marines. Hawk, clone of Dracula Mihawk. Hawk, if there's one Seraphim that made the entire fandom scream at their screens, it's this one. Because his original Dracula Mihawk is the greatest swordsman in the world. Hawk looks like a teenage Mihawk. The same sharp, piercing eyes. The same regal, dangerous aura. Lunarian wings. And a sword that could split the ocean itself. Powers and abilities. Hawk's swordplay is terrifying. On Amazon Lily, a single slash from Hawk split a mountain in half, and forced none other than Blackbeard himself to use Busoshoku Haki to deflect the blow. On Egghead Island, Hawk went toe-to-toe with Roronoa Zoro. On top of his godlike swordsmanship, Hawk carries the power of Daz Bones, Supa no Mi, the dice fruit. This allows him to transform any part of his body into razor-sharp steel blades. Combined with his swordsmanship, he can extend and enhance his slashes to a devastating degree, or turn his entire arm into a blade if he loses his weapon. He also has Lunarian durability, fire generation. Spear, clone of Bartholomew Kuma. Now we arrive at who Luffy himself identified as the biggest threat. Among the Seraphim on Egghead, that's S-Bear. S-Bear is a clone of Bartholomew Kuma, the former warlord who is also a revolutionary, a former celestial dragon slave, and one of the most tragic figures in the entire series. S-Bear looks like a young Kuma, massive in size, powerfully built, with those iconic paw print hands and Lunarian wings. Even in child form, S-Bear is enormous, towering over most adult characters. Powers and abilities. S-Bear wields the power of the Nikyu no Mi, the paw fruit. One of the most versatile and terrifying devil fruits in existence. With his paws, S-Bear can repel absolutely anything: physical attacks, air blasts, pain itself. He can launch shockwaves of compressed air powerful enough to level landscapes. He can send people flying to any location in the world. He can deflect attacks from Yonko-level fighters. And here's what makes S-Bear uniquely powerful among all the Seraphim. He carries 2 racial bloodlines, not just Lunarian, but also Buccaneer, the giant ancient tribe that Kuma himself descended from. Buccaneers are known for their superhuman physical strength, combined with Lunarian durability. S-Bear is essentially a walking tank. On Egghead, Luffy and Rob Lucci, 2 of the most powerful fighters in the series, had to team up just to fight S-Bear. Shark, clone of Jinbei. Last of the 4 main Seraphim we've seen in action, S-Shark, the clone of the Knight of the Sea, Jinbei, the newest helmsman of the Straw Hat Pirates. S-Shark looks like a teenage Jinbei, a fishman hybrid appearance, powerful build, dark features, Lunarian wings. The first Seraphim the Straw Hats encountered when they arrived at Egghead, and their first taste of how ridiculously strong these things are. Powers and abilities. Sess Shark is a master of Fishman Karate, the devastating martial art that allows practitioners to manipulate water inside the human body, hit with explosive force, and generate tidal waves from thin air, just like Jinbei taught Luffy during the Fishman Island arc. But unlike Jinbei, Sess Shark carries the power of Senor Pink Sui Sui no Mi the Swim Fruit. This allows S Shark to swim through solid surfaces, floors, walls, ceilings like they're made of water. He can phase through attacks, launch ambushes from the ground itself, and become nearly impossible to pin down. Plus, Lunarian durability, fire generation, laser beams. Same package as the others. Now, we know there are 7 Seraphim total, 1 for each of the original Warlord lineup. That means 3 remain we haven't seen in full action yet. The Crocodile Seraphim, based on the former king of Alabasta, and now leader of Cross Guild. Since Logia powers can't be replicated by green blood, his Seraphim likely doesn't have the sand fruit, but would still have Crocodile's genius combat intellect and Lunarian abilities. We may see a different Paramecia power used here. The Doflamingo Seraphim, based on the former king of Dressrosa. The string fruit is Paramecia, so it could be replicated through green blood, giving this Seraphim the ability to control people like puppets using razor-sharp strings. The potential here is absolutely scary. The Gecko Moria Seraphim, based on the captain of the thriller Bark Pirates. The Shadow fruit is Paramecia, so green blood could theoretically replicate it. Imagine a Seraphim manipulating shadows, creating an army of powerful zombies, using other Seraphim as templates. The potential is chilling. And that, my friends, is everything you need to know about the Seraphim. Who they are, who made them, every member's powers and abilities, and where they stand now. To summarize quickly, created by Dr. Vegapunk for the world government's SSG. Purpose replaced the abolished 7 warlords as one of the 3 great powers. The final saga is just getting started. And with the Seraphim in the world government's hands, the Straw Hats are going to face some impossible odds ahead. So which Seraphim do you think is the most dangerous? Drop it in the comments below. I want to see the debate. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Subscribe for more One Piece deep dives, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next.